When we think of superpowers, we imagine superheroes from comic books flying, invisibility, shooting lightning from their hands. But what if I told you that real animals out there are already doing all that and more? From surviving the vacuum of space to generating electricity, these creatures don't just adapt to the world, they dominate it in ways that seem downright impossible. So buckle up, because you're about to meet the top 10 animals with real life superpowers that would make Marvel jealous. And trust me, number 1, it's practically indestructible. 1. Tardigrades, the immortals of the microscopic world. Let's start with the undisputed king of survival. The tardigrade, also known as the water bear. This tiny 8-legged creature may look harmless, but it's one of the toughest life forms on Earth. It can survive boiling water, extreme radiation, freezing temperatures near absolute zero, and even the vacuum of space. How? Tardigrades have the insane ability to enter a state called cryptobiosis, in which they expel nearly all water from their bodies and curl up into a ball. In this form, they can stay dormant for decades, and when rehydrated, they come back to life like nothing happened. NASA launched tardigrades into space in 2007, and guess what? They survived. Cosmic rays, zero gravity, UV radiation, they shrugged it all off. You're probably asking yourself if these things are real, what else is out there that we don't understand yet? Stick around, it gets even weirder. 2. Electric eels, nature's living taser. Imagine being able to stun your enemies just by flexing your muscles. The electric eel can generate electric shocks of up to 1860 volts, enough to knock out predators, prey, and even unlucky humans. That's more than enough voltage to power multiple light bulbs. These eels, which are actually knife fish, use specialized cells called electrocytes to generate electricity. When they feel threatened or want to catch something, they discharge those cells in rapid bursts, creating a jolt that paralyzes their target. They can even control the intensity of the shock. A light jolt might be used for navigation or communication, while a full blast is reserved for hunting or defense. If you had that power in real life, you'd be the most feared person in every street fight, guaranteed. Mantis shrimp, the boxer with bullet punches. Don't be fooled by its size. The mantis shrimp is a ferocious underwater predator with a punch that moves at 50 mph. That's as fast as a bullet leaving a handgun. And it doesn't just hit hard. It hits so fast that it boils the water around its claws, creating tiny shockwaves that can stun or kill prey, even if the first hit misses. Their clubs are so strong they can break aquarium glass. Scientists are studying the composition of their appendages to develop stronger materials for body armor and spacecraft. But it's not just their fists. Mantis shrimp also have the most complex eyes in the animal kingdom, capable of detecting polarized light and 16 types of color receptors. Humans have just 3. Basically, if mantis shrimp were the size of dogs, we'd all be in serious trouble. 4. Axelots, the regeneration masters. Rare ape wolverine when animal, he'd be an axolotl. These adorable amphibians from Mexico have the incredible ability to regenerate entire limbs, spinal cords, jaws, and even parts of their brain. Scientists have even amputated limbs multiple times, and the axolotl just keeps regrowing them, scar-free. Their regenerative capabilities are so impressive that they're being heavily studied for breakthroughs in human medicine and tissue repair. And get this, they never undergo metamorphosis like other amphibians. They stay in their juvenile form their entire lives, retaining both their cuteness and their amazing powers. Regrowing your arm after an injury. That's not science fiction, it's daily life for the axolotl. 5. Bombardia beetles, the chemical warriors. What do you get when you cross chemistry class with a battle tank? The bombardia beetle. This tiny insect defends itself by shooting boiling hot, noxious chemicals from its rear end. And it does this at rapid fire speed, creating a tiny explosion each time. Inside its abdomen are 2 separate chemical chambers. When threatened, the beetle mixes these chemicals in a blast chamber, causing a violent reaction that reaches 100 degrees C, so 2,135. The resulting spray is loud, scalding, and fault-smelling. It can fire up to 20 shots in a row with pinpoint accuracy. That's right, it has built-in chemical weapons and an internal targeting system. Imagine being so powerful that your farts can stop an attacker in their tracks. Now that's next level. 6. Octopuses, the escapist shape shifters. Octopuses are straight up alien. They have 3 hearts, blue blood, and the ability to camouflage instantly by changing the color and texture of their skin. But perhaps most impressive of all is their superpower, shape shifting. Because octopuses have no bones, they can squeeze through openings as small as a coin, turning themselves into liquid-like forms. They've escaped sealed jars, aquarium tanks, and even walked across land to freedom. And their intelligence, scary. They can open childproof jars, use tools, and learn through observation. Octopuses are like James Bond meets Terminator, stealthy, adaptable, and way smarter than you'd expect. 7. Pistol shrimp, the gun-slinging killer. Next up, the pistol shrimp, also known as the snapping shrimp. This little crustacean has a claw that snaps shut so fast it creates a cavitation bubble, and that bubble produces a shock wave reaching over 210 decibels, enough to stun or kill small fish. But that's not all. The bubble also produces heat comparable to the surface of the sun for a fraction of a second. Yes, this shrimp creates a miniature solar flare underwater, just by snapping. They even form colonies with complex social hierarchies, building burrows and defending territory with coordinated attacks. A shrimp that stuns prey with heat and sound. That's not evolution, that's weaponized biology. 8. Wood frogs, the frozen survivors. The wood frog has one of the coolest, literally, superpowers. It can freeze itself solid in winter and thaw back to life in spring. These frogs stop breathing, their hearts stop beating, and ice forms inside their bodies. And they just wait it out. They survive because their bodies flood with glucose before freezing, which protects their cells from damage. When temperatures rise again, their hearts start beating, they thaw, and hop away like nothing happened. Scientists are studying this for breakthroughs in cryogenics, organ preservation, and space travel. If humans could replicate this, we could survive long-distance space missions, or maybe even pause life itself. 9. Platypus, the mutant mammal. The platypus is already strange enough. It lays eggs, has a duckbill, and glows under UV light. But it also possesses real superpowers. For starters, male platypuses have venomous spurs on their hind legs, and their venom can cause excruciating pain that lasts for months in humans. Then there's the platypus's bill, which is packed with electroreceptors, allowing it to detect the electric signals of prey underwater. Even with its eyes, ears, and nose closed, it literally sees using electricity. It's like nature threw all the best powers into one animal: venom, electric sensing, and biofluorescence. Mutant, definitely. Superpowered, absolutely. 10. Immortal jellyfish, the time rewinder. Finally, we reach the most mind-blowing animal on this list, Turritopsis dohrnii, better known as the immortal jellyfish. When this tiny jellyfish is injured, sick, or aging, it doesn't die. Instead, it reverts its cells back to their earliest form, essentially becoming a baby again, and starts its life cycle all over. This process, called transdifferentiation, is something humans can't do. It's the biological equivalent of pressing restart on your body, and there's no known limit to how many times it can do this. Sure, it can still be killed by predators, but left alone, it's effectively immortal. Scientists are desperately trying to understand how it works, because the key to biological immortality might just be floating around in our oceans. From creatures that can boil water with a snap to animals that regenerate, electrocute, freeze, and even travel their own biology, these animals aren't just surviving. They're thriving with abilities that would make any superhero jealous. And the wildest part, these powers evolved naturally. No labs, no gamma rays, just evolution doing its thing, turning everyday animals into legends. Which of these powers blew your mind the most? And if you could borrow one for yourself, which would you choose? Regeneration, invisibility, or immortality? Let me know in the comments! And hey, if this video sparked your curiosity, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell. We've got a whole universe of strange science and crazy creatures coming your way. Until next time, stay curious, because nature always finds a way.